And welcome back to the desk of Bug Report. It has been a while, I admit. Big thanks to Trey down at the Flophouse VIP Patreon for nominating a new Bug Report for y'all today. And this is kind of a weird game for me to be playing on this particular show. When I started, started my QA career at a particular testing lab. They'd take clients from all over the place. They had this, Rockstar's first game, Rocksteady's first game, Urban Chaos Riot Response. When this game was basically done, and what would happen is that if they didn't have anything for you for your first few days of training, they just have you play through this pretty finished build of Urban Chaos. IDOS was a big client at that time. I would work for IDOS, much later, directly. But this particular testing lab would get a lot of IDOS stuff from time to time. And Urban Chaos was one. And when I got put on this, I was like, oh, yeah. I hadn't heard of the game at that point because I don't think it quite released. But I was just like, oh, shit, it's a first-person shooter, and it's, violent, and it's exactly what you want to be on. This Urban Chaos, but it didn't always start as Urban Chaos, funnily enough. Oh god, I forgot there's licensed music, get away! So as the story goes, this game was actually going to be called Zero Tolerance, and this is some sort of nightmare world where cops run amok with overpowered expensive weapons to take care of any problem they don't like. That's crazy. It's the craziest shit I've ever heard of. So yeah, there was another game by another publisher, maybe even IDOS themselves, called Zero Tolerance, and they were like, no, absolutely not, that's our name. So they changed it to Urban Chaos Riot Response, but IDOS had another game called Urban Chaos, which is a third-person game released on, I think, the Dreamcast, maybe the PC. It has nothing to do with that, but I believe they just called it that, and it's kind of loosely tied to that universe. I'm not really sure. T0 stands for, of course, Tolerance Zero, or I'm assuming they changed that name totally to not be Zero Tolerance, or Zero T, I guess. So they wouldn't really, get any sort of legal guff from the other publisher, developer. So she's still gabbing, so we'll talk about the bug report a little bit, since it has been a while. My memory of this game is it's relatively clean in terms of bugs and glitches. Nothing that I remember. I played the Xbox version a lot, and this is the PS2 version. I really wish this had been released on PC, just because it would probably look a bit better. But it is not. You are Nick Mason, and you're fighting a bunch of guys that look like gang members from Arkham games.
Class is Pain 101. Your instructor's Casey Jones.
That's how you start a video game, folks. It's your opening scene. And put it T0 on the grill and T0 on the license plate. We're the bad guys if we have a vanity license plate. Holy shit, there's a lot going on. Okay. So what I remember from this game is that there's a bunch of physics based things. Characters ragdoll, lots of stuff jumps around, lots of triggers. Just getting used to my buttons, folks. Remember, this does have a unique setup where you always have a dedicated button for taking out your guns, your melee weapons, and your throwables. And those are on the face buttons, which is a little weird. I just picked up a cleaver, because if you see a cop coming at you with a cleaver, you know that it's the end times. Interactive with the game world, folks. That does look pretty decent, all things considered. From what I remember, we're going to be talking to a lot of first responders, firemen, emergency people, and it's a lot of that, which is nice, actually. It's not all cops. Cops are obviously in here, but we're also talking to the real heroes a lot, too. So I think a few more of these. Friend, I don't even know who he was. An ex-Marine. Wolf was described as a true hero. Oh no, he was survived by his wife and 3 daughters. It always gives you this information on all the friends that you kill. It's amazing.
Googala! Googala! Now that's what I call zero tolerance. Come on!
They say that a lot. Whenever someone gets crushed by a thing or they die in some gruesome way, they always go, now that's what I call big damage. That's what I call zero tolerance. Choppy choppy. I don't think he gets that violent where I don't think it gets that violent where you can like dismember anybody. I think that was just like that limit. I think this was rated mature. I'm pretty sure, but now I can't remember. Doing stuff like ESRB checklist was this was well before I started doing stuff like that. That was not till like 2 years later. From the point that I was working on this. Just doing some rubbing, folks. Sometimes when you do a bug report or you're doing QA in general, the main thing you do is rub yourself. When you're doing functionality testing, rub yourself against every service. Just make love to it, basically. So what we're going to do here is if I can find any bugs, I'll give you the rating system, which is debug. It's a suggestion. You can put them in, but devs don't really, unless the dev really agrees with it. A suggestion is more like a tweak or handling a situation in a better way where it's like maybe the AI could do this in that situation. A C bug is like tiny little graphical errors, anything that's like, you know, clearly an issue, a texture warping, a little bit of collision clipping, anything that's like, you know, you could definitely say that's a bug, but it doesn't really disrupt your experience. A B bug could range from things like falling through the world, like clipping through something like majorly, maybe a character not saying a full line of dialogue, it being canceled out, maybe clipping through a wall but not falling through the world. And an A bug can be like a crash, a saving issue where like the game just doesn't save where it should. Falling through the world and you being stuck in like a soft lock where you have to like reset the game or like quit out at the very least. Like a hard lock is when there's like a beep and like you're screwed. All right, I forgot about a Riot Shield. Riot Shield's fun. It's a cool thing that they added to this. And the defensive weapons in FPS, you know, not that common. Yeah, you put out that fire. Maybe you need a little bit of encouragement, just a little zap, just a little one, just positive reinforcement, and just a little bonk.
Shit, what are you trying to do?
Just giving you a little bonk, sir.
You're here.
But he's glad that I'm here. I do remember some other issues with like repeating lines that would happen like out of context and maybe not sound right depending on what the situation had just been. Like there, you just bonked a guy and he totally says, I really, really miss you or whatever. I'm really glad you're here. That would be like a D class thing. And again, depending on where a project is in its testing phase, like if it's just finishing, let's say a developer is sitting at their desk and they don't have much else to do. There's no other like really severe issues they need to take care of, like a crash or a saving thing or whatever. If you put in a suggestion issue and like it just it's not that difficult to change or fix. Maybe just a bit of text that isn't voiced. They would change that. You know, maybe just moving a barrel from one location to the other to be closer to the player. Those would be suggestion issues, and a dev would fix that every so often, but it's rare. It has been a couple of years since I played this, and more than a decade since. Get out of here! He's big, but why is he burping up fire? That's a C issue. But this group is called the Burners. It's the only gang you fight, which does kind of suck. It'd be cool if you could have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 gangs that are all warring, but I think it's all the Burners. That's why there's a lot of fire in this game. It's crazy how we get all of the funding and you have to take our orders even though you're firemen and you're like super important. But yeah, we could tell him to chop this down. Maybe I can get in the way. Ooh, I'll try that out next time. I'm pretty sure he has to like chop down a few doors for us. Oh, let's get in the way. Let's get in the way. Okay, chop me, sir. Get in my way. No. Okay, he kind of pushed me out. That's fine. All right, I'll just shove myself in. Chop me, daddy. Yeah, I'm kind of in the way there, but he's still chopping through me. I've seen lots of employees over the years that would bug absolutely anything, like stuff that was historically inaccurate, stuff that was you can only see if you use like a cheat, like be able to use a free camera. Like, oh, this gun is not placed on top of the table and it's levitating above it like 1 inch. Like, do not waste a dev's time with that at all. That is something that is not worth anyone's time, really. Like, this gun model looks slightly inaccurate because it came 3 years before the time that this game took place. Shut up. Because usually when you're doing a database bug entry for a game, you're usually expected to have like a quota of work, getting like, I want to say like a dozen bugs done a day is usually considered like pretty average, or above average at least. Like, that's what you're expected to do. Any more than that is just gravy. But I haven't tested officially in years. I don't know if that's changed. So it seems like I can push this dude in the way with the power of this chair. Can I get him in the fire maybe? Because you do get this could be a thing. You do get like a game over or for a level if an integral NPC dies, right? But if he dies via not my hand, and he should traditionally be locked to cover, I wonder what happens if anything. Oh, he took a shot. Okay, doesn't seem to mind getting shot, which is amazing, incredible. Maybe you have superpowers, sir. I'll use him as my cover. Oh my God, how'd they get me? If only I had a shield. Yeah, there it is. I'm guessing that he's invincible and he doesn't have like a tag on him saying that he's an integral NPC that has a life bar right now. Like, if I shot him myself, right, he would get angry and he would probably die. I want to know if he can get killed by... Like, I want to say no, he would have died by now. So, So this is QA work right here, folks. Seeing if you could, like, is the likelihood of an average player of the... I got it right side back up. Is the likelihood of a player doing something like this, like, could it result in a crash? No, it's very unlikely. Sometimes you even have to label your bugs as, like, how likely will a user experience this? And, depending on how bad it is, it could very well not. But there's always the chance. There's always a chance that an errant shield bash will knock something into something and the whole game will collapse. You don't know. And that's the whole job. So something I remember is that I remember roasting this dude because they die after a while. I think it goes to like Mega Inferno. Inferno! Alright, so she's here, taking care of that guy. What can we do with this? Let's see if we can move her away from there because this is where she's anchored right now. Just doing her animation. Bibbidi-bop! Nothing? Okay. Oh, did she just move?
Here you go.
All right, she can't. She can't. She's blocked by the chair. Okay. I'm locked in here. No, they're locked in with me. All right, so she's waiting to get around. Oh, I can't interact with her again. So let's move this. She goes over there. Oh.
This should make you feel better.
All right, so that teleported into my hand. That's a C issue, I think. All right, now she's on the other side of him, and she's, like, completely pushed away, so the animation's kind of pointless. That I wouldn't categorize that as its own separate issue. Very minor, but it's a thing. All right, so this guy, he's locked in there, but how is it unauthorized? All right, he runs away like a coward. I like that. All right, the big hostage situation. Now, this is a situation where you could get a game over easily by maybe shooting the cop. But I'm assuming, let's try to shoot some stuff back. Nothing. Okay. That resulted in nothing. That's fine. Oh, yeah, he shoots backwards by mistake, I think. And that sets off one of these things. There you go. Amazing. There's always a weird part. I think I have to talk to Commander Dick Wolf over there, but I don't have any weapons or anything. I can't interact with anything, and I think it just locks you out of doing anything when a mission's done. Because you have to talk to an NPC, which is a little weird. It should just go straight to a cutscene, really, but could I die here, maybe? I don't know. I don't think so. All right, so I think that kind of ends it. Fun first mission, I have to say. But we still need to find more bugs than that. That was a little light, but I mean, there's a whole game to play still. For more fun with boxes, let's go. It's level 2. Whoa, she just burst out of there like Rhino. Jesus, okay, so boxes aren't good enough to keep her in there. Anytime where you can order an NPC around is usually, if anyone out there will be bug testing one day or is bug testing currently, anytime you can order the AI around is a potential for more issues to happen. Okay, there's a fireman on the other side here.
I cannot complete that order.
He cannot complete the, he's clipping through the thing a little bit, through the shutter door. You can see his axe there. But he also has super power strength, so he can open that. If I order him to do something else, he runs like that. So that's fine so far, but what else, what can we do with this situation? Maybe shock him? No. No, stop. Take cover. Yeah. We don't want to go in there yet. There's still more fun to be had downstairs. Either shove some things under this shutter door or shove myself. It could kill me. It could just push me on the other side. What's going to happen?
Moving to cover.
All right, push me to the other side. So that's fine. Again, I remember this game being pretty clean. But it just goes to show like all the stuff you have to think of. Because this is very possible. Someone could just go under here and accidentally press the button. What if it kills? What it could be like Duke Nukem 3D where you just get squished. You got to get square on.
I'm taking cover.
Okay, he's taking cover, but I did not get killed. That's disappointing. Oh, Jesus, I just saw a dude jump like 1,000 feet in the background. This is going to be fun. All right, good. You gone? Good. Big headshot. Please stop it with that. Just... So, whoa! Did you see that shit? All right, enemies spawning out of nowhere. That's a C problem. Now, what the fuck? Oh! What's that? The Furnace Man from RE4? Sometimes you just die when you run into a burning inferno. Who would have thought? Ow. Like, now the bad guys even know who I am, which is pretty cool. They're just like, hey, Mason! And that's it. That's all I got. That was nothing. That face isn't great. I wouldn't even make a suggestion on that. Like, face is not great. Yeah, don't do that. You don't want to be critical of like the work that's put in. When you write bugs, you usually want to write like you're writing like a scientific textbook. You really don't want to waste devs' time with anything that's like more personal about it. Like being critical of any aspect of it that's like rather than just an analytical breakdown of what a bug is. You shouldn't write stuff like, oh, why does the PS2 version get this or that, and or this mode or that character when the Xbox version does it? What are you, a Sony pony? The dev is not gonna appreciate that. Okay, just letting you know. What happens if we do this? That's not my fault. If I blow up in an explosive, then the NPC shouldn't be yelling at me. It's my first day on the Zero T Force. There's the golden masks about its evidence, but it's like we've been playing the game for 2 hours now. We know it's the burners. We can certainly get some stuff under the shutter door and see what happens. All right, shut her down. Where'd it go? Okay, the explosive is better and it's hard to miss. So let's get that in there. All right, that's perfect. Okay, yeah. All right, let's see what happens. Open it up. Is it in there? What? All right, that was Urban Chaos Riot Response. You know, in terms of getting this game out the door, is it buggy? Is it not? I say ship it. Only some C issues there that I could find. If you've played this game, you've seen some bad issues, bugs, glitches, whatever. Any sort of stuff that made you go, what? Let me know in the comments. And thanks again to Trey for suggesting I get back to Bug Report. It is something I love talking about. And if anyone out there knows of any other games that are notoriously buggy, maybe not the usual suspects. If you say like, oh, play Cyberpunk, like, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything like that you'd like me to sort of dissect. Talk about QA a little bit, and I'll see you next time. And make sure to give me all your bug reports on my desk tomorrow morning.